The Going Pro Talent Fund Training Plan is a tool to help you organize your trainings and trainees in one place prior to completing your application. We're going to discuss each section and some tips and tricks for making sure your plan accurately shows the trainings for which you are applying. We're going to break this down into 5 separate sections. This is video 1 of 5, and we're going to talk about existing employees that are taking classroom training. So when you open up the training plan, this is what it looks like. We have a bunch of different colors, and the colors will kind of help us keep different groups of trainees organized according to the type of training that the people are receiving. And so we're going to start up in this upper left-hand area here. Will be columns F through T, and then we're going to be in rows 9 through 34. And this is what the training plan will look like when you open it up for the first time. So this is the section we're concerned with right now. What we're going to do is put in here any training for current employees. These are also called incumbents, and you'll hear me use those terms interchangeably. Any current employee taking classroom training should be entered into this section. So first off, I like to start with the training provider area. So we're going to enter our name of our training provider. We're going to call this Best Trainer Company, and we're going to hit enter, and it will take us to the next field. When is the expected start date for the training? Training has to start after February 1st of 2021. So we're going to put a training that starts in April. Training should last no longer than 6 months. So we're going to say that this training will end 7/1 of 2021. And then I'm just hitting enter to advance to the next field. Now what we'll need to do is enter the training course in this cell. We're in cell F and row 8, so F8. The training course, we're going to say this is GD&T. This is one we see quite a bit on applications for manufacturing applications, but this will be the name of the course. If there's a number in the course name, certainly you can put that information in there as well. And again, just hit enter to move. So we have all of this training information entered in to start our first training course. Now what will need to happen is we'll need to put in the cost. So we know that there's a cost for each of the trainings. We need it broken down into a per person cost. So let's say that this training costs $795. We'll just put in $795, hit enter, and it will go ahead and make that into a dollar amount. If you notice when we did that, it totaled it up over here. And so that's why we're using Excel, is we want some different formulas to give us different totals in sections. And so that totaled it here. And it also went ahead, if you go over to this right side, it also totaled it here and here. And it totals it way down at the bottom here. So currently the total ask for this project is $795. That's the amount of Going Pro funding that this application would be asking for, this training plan. So heading back up to the top here. Now we're probably not going to just ask for $795. We're probably going to have more people take this training. And so we could type in $795 all the way down this column, and amounts in these columns should all be the same because they're all taking the same single course. So we should have a single cost per person that matches the rest of the cost per person. But maybe we don't want to type the $795 each time. We want to just have the machine do it for us, the program do it for us. So the way that we do that is we would come over to this cell where the $795 that we want to copy is. We would left click our mouse and highlight it. Now that cell's highlighted. Come over here to the corner and grab this little dark cross that shows, and we can just drag it down for however many people we have. So we drag it and let it go, and then that populates the $795 all the way down. Now we don't want to really have 13 people. We got a little click happy here. So instead of 13, we really only want 10. So to get rid of those, all we would do is we'd come here to our first one that's over. Click left mouse, hold, drag down. Those are all highlighted, and then just hit delete, and they're all gone. And when we go back here and highlight these, which is click left mouse, hold, drag down, it tells us that we have, if you notice at the bottom here, it keeps a tally, $795 per 10 people, $79.50 total cost. So that kind of does it for the training section of the training provider section. Now we need to say who's taking the training. So let's say Mr. Jones is taking the training, and we're going to enter him in there. Last name, first name. This helps us to keep the training plan clean so we can alphabetize if we need to eventually. Current hourly wage, he's making $16.50 an hour. So Mr. Jones will be making $16.50 an hour currently. He's taking a $795 GD&T training through Best Trainer Company for these dates. Now, we can enter more names in here, and we will do that. But let's say that we have a situation where we are not quite sure exactly who out of our department we're sending to training. But we know they're all production workers. And so we could put the title in there, and let's say those make $13.50 an hour. So this tells us that we're having Ben Jones go to this GD&T training, but we're also sending an unnamed at this point production worker, and those normally make $13.50 an hour. So we're going to send that guy as well. We're just not sure who that individual is yet. Now the same premise works as we was down like we did for the money. We can go ahead and copy these fields down if they're all going to be production workers. So that would be click on the cell that you want to start with, hold down left mouse, drag over to the right to highlight the ones you want to copy down. And then we're going to pick up this little dark cross and drag that down to the bottom here. Let go. And it copied all this correctly, but you see here it did it in a series rather than copy. This is easy to fix. You go here, click the autofill options, and then indicate you want it to copy rather than fill a series. So now these all changed to $13.50. Then what you would do is you would repeat these steps for every single person that you want to have in training. So if there are more people down here in class number 2, you could put them that way. And I will just run through that quickly. We want to do Best Trainer Company again. And let's say this class is going to be 4-1. And we would end this one on 8:15. And this training class could be, we'll call this Assembly 201, something like that. We're gonna tab on down. This class is $750. Same rules all apply. You can go ahead and click on that, grab it with the cross, drag it down, have these people go to this class. Same thing applies here. You can click on this, highlight them, drag them down. It did the funny thing again with the series rather than copy. Fix this through the copy here. And now we have 10 people going to the $795 GD&T class. We have then 6 people going to the $750 assembly class. And that is how you enter existing employees taking classroom training.